Hi! In today's video, we're going to be learning how to do a belly dance chassé movement, which looks like this. It's a fun traveling movement, also is a great entrance movement, which we'll talk about a little later. But we're going to go through this. We're going to start with the foot pattern, and then we're going to add some oriental hips and arms. So feel free to do up to whatever level you want. You can do all three. You can just learn the foot pattern, foot and hips, what you want. So let's start. And this is a releve movement the entire time, meaning that we are on the balls of our feet, weight between the first and second toes, legs are straight, making sure our pelvis is neutral, our core is active. All these things will help us keep our balance in this movement, which is important. And you are just going to step forwards with one foot, and then the back foot is going to stay on the ground, and it's going to glide along the ground, and you're going to squeeze that back leg in to cross behind the front leg. So here your legs are really squeezing tightly together, and then you're going to just step that front foot out or a little bit in front just to bring the legs back to parallel, but not a very big step. So again, now you'd be starting on the other foot, staying in releve, keeping that balance. You're going to step forward. This can be a bigger step, this first step. Slide that back foot along the floor to cross in, and then step the front foot out a bit. Forwards, gliding to cross in, step. Forwards, gliding to cross in, and step. So chassé actually means chased in French. So you can think of it as that back foot chasing the front foot. Step, chase it, step out. Step forwards, chase, step out, forwards, chase, and out. And you can also think of it a little bit as feeling like you're gliding across the floor when you do it, or ice skating. It's sort of, it can feel a bit like ice skating once you start doing it a little faster. So let's try that, just coming forwards. Again, forwards, glide, step. Forwards, glide, step. Forwards, glide, step. Forwards, glide, step. Good. Again, let's try to connect it a little more now. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Great. So as you've seen, you can cover a lot of ground with this movement, which is why it's a good way to enter the stage, to come on stage, to travel around. You can go in a big circle with it, what you want. So let's try it now on top of a common entrance rhythm. And that entrance rhythm is malfouf, which is a rhythm in 2. So it's going to sound like doom tek tek 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 doom tek tek. Yeah? So we're going to try that. You can just have your arms out to the side. And we'll do 5, 6, 7, 8. Doom tek tek doom tek tek doom tek tek doom. Good. We can try circling around. Doom tek tek doom tek tek doom tek tek doom tek tek. Good. You can try circling the other way. Doom tek tek doom tek tek doom tek tek. Great. So let's try that now with a little bit of music. Doom tek tek, doom tek tek, doom tek tek. Good. So we go up, 3, 4, forwards, 7, and 1, and good. And circle around. Good. You can go around the other way. Tek tek, doom tek tech, tech, doom, tech, tech. Forwards, doom, tech, tech, doom, tech, tech. Great job. So as you've seen, when we have the malfouf rhythm, we're not doing 1, 2, 3. We're doing 1 and a, 1 and a. So we do it with the rhythm. So that was the foot pattern. And if you want, you can just do the foot pattern. That's perfectly fine, actually, with the arms out here. I would do this a lot in dancing. You don't need to add anything else on top. But if you want a little extra, a little of that belly dance flavor, you can add some fun hips and arms. So let's look at that. So when we add the hips, what we're going to do is add a hip 8, a horizontal hip 8, going back on top of the foot pattern. So if you have not seen the video on horizontal 8s, then you should definitely check that out before trying this. That will definitely help you. But just a quick reminder, with a horizontal 8, you would be twisting one hip in front, sliding along the diagonal, bringing it back around, and then sliding the other hip forward on the diagonal and bringing it back around. So that would be your basic horizontal 8 going backwards. And what we are going to do is that on every set of 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, we're going to add half of the 8 on top of those. So if you are starting to your right, stepping forward, and then gliding in and stepping out, you're going to be doing the right half of that horizontal 8. And then when you step to the left, you'd be doing the left half. So the most of the work is coming on steps 1 and 2. That's when you're really pushing those hips around. And this definitely takes good balance. So this is a great way to practice your balance as well, but you might want to practice your balance separately too in order to get this. So let's add those hips on top. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be a lot of pulling in those obliques, feeling that. And of course, it's difficult to really take a really big step once you're doing the hip movement. If you're not doing the hip movement, you can take like a really huge step with that first step. But when you add the hip movement, you're probably going to be doing a smaller step. Yeah, so let's try that again. Adding that horizontal hip 8 on top. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We can again travel around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that is the hips that you can add over the foot pattern. And finally, on top of that, we're going to add an arm movement. So I want you to hold your arms out in front of you, just a little wider than the width of your body, not way out to the side, but kind of in between. Palms facing each other. And what you're going to do is you're going to bend one elbow out, and the other elbow is going to bend in, and then you're going to switch. So then the other elbow is going to come out. Yeah, keeping the elbows lifted. This is just a horizontal bend. You need to have good, of course, elbow isolation to do this. You can check out my arm warm-up video for some exercises to help you improve your elbow isolations. So just one bends in, the other bends out, and they're always staying connected. So you can imagine that you have a string tied between your elbows, tied very tightly, so that when you move one elbow out, the other elbow has to push in. So you're always keeping the same distance between them. Good, and now we're going to let our wrists do that same thing. So one elbow is going to bend out, and then the wrist is also going to bend out on that side, and the opposite wrist is going to be flexed, bending in. So the wrists, they sort of slightly follow the elbows. So the elbow has the impulse of this movement, and the wrists follow along. You can think of them like little fish swimming in a river or something like that. It's kind of got this wavy feel to that. So just practice getting that flowing feeling, pushing to one side and then the other side. Wrist following elbow, making sure that one side is always out and one side is always in. So this is the arm movement, very floaty and graceful. And to layer it on top of everything we just did, basically, when we're starting on one side, say you're starting on the right side and your hip is doing an 8 to the right, then your right elbow will also be pushing out. Yeah? So if I'm not doing the step now, just the hips, just layering this on top of the hip 8, you can see that the elbow and wrist are pushing in the same direction as the hip. Everything is either going to the left or to the right. And then if I put the foot pattern underneath that, it's going to be pushing 2, 3, and pushing 2, 3. Push, 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 push. So the arm movement, I think, really kind of finishes this movement off, gives it that really beautiful, graceful quality. It is a lot to coordinate, so you might want to, again, practice the arm movement separately, maybe practice the arm movement with the hips, and then do all three, or maybe practice the arm movement and the feet without the hips. You could also do that. Break it down, take it as slow as you need, and then come back and let's put everything together. So, starting with the right. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Let's try taking it forward for 4, and then around in a circle for 8. So 4 chassés forward and 8 in a circle. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, and circle. We go 1, 2, keep those hips going. 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. Let's come forward. 2, 3, and 4. Wonderful. So now, let's put that on top of some music. Again, we're going to be using a malfouf rhythm. So here we go. Ready? Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and good. Circle around. Keep going. 2, 3, and forwards again. 3, circle up and away. Forwards. Good. And circle. 2, 3, 4. Great job. So, that was the chassé movement. Again, it is a very common belly dance movement, wonderful way to move across the stage, to enter that music that you just heard. Would be great music for an entrance. It's a lot of fun. You can do just the feet, You can add the hips, you can add the arms, you can add your own arms, play with it, do whatever you want. I hope that you really like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and happy practicing.